Oh, and we back. What it do, what it do, what it do. Welcome to another episode of the Promo Podcast. I am your host, Antoine Jones. It's good to be back. It's good to see you all again. Thank you for tuning in. I wanted to do another one of my top 10 episodes. As always, if you're unfamiliar, my top 10 episodes just consist of 10 of my favorite things regarding whatever category I'm speaking on. Today, my top 10 category is cartoon intros or cartoon theme intros rather, but you get what I'm saying. I wanted to put together a list of the 10 I thought that were my personal favorite, and I emphasize personal favorite. When you hear the list, I don't want you to think like the 10 most iconic, theme intros for cartoons of all time, or greatest or most revered. No, these are my personal favorites. These are the 10 that I enjoy the most. So I just want you to be mindful, remember that as we uh move forward with this. I um i took a while to come up with this list because off top you think about some of the good ones, and then I started doing a little digging, and I'm forgetting songs, and then I go back and hear them, and I'm just like, oh, this intro was fire, and my criteria has always been more than just the music. Does the intro like tell like a little story? Is there uh, lyrics, or is it just the music, just the instruments just playing? Is it like a funky beat, some kick, or time? And also think about like timelessness of it. Is it like a intro that you can like, just if it does have words, if it's something you could just like think off the top of your head, or if somebody, you hear somebody like saying a little word of it, you can just rattle off the entire thing. Like, those are things that I think about when I think of the intros. Or if you hear a beat from the intro, like automatically you think about that cartoon. Like, those are the things that I think about when I think of like my favorite cartoon intros. And then I have some that are just mostly based on the visuals, and then culminate that with the music, and it makes something special. So, anyways, I've rattled on enough, rambled on. I mean, I want to get into it. Before I start with my top 10 list, I wanted to shoot off a couple of honorable mentions. As always, there's honorable mentions. I can't just have just 10. I mean, I have 10, but these are ones that were like close calls for me that I really enjoyed. Some of them more like when my childhood days, and then some when I got a little older. But off top, I think of the Batman animated series, and that was a very ominous, dark. That's the Batman sound too. Like, that song is the song is just very dark, and I remember the intro was just it showed like two silhouettes of guys like robbing the bank, and then they like trying to get away from the police, and then you see the Batman dressed up, and he's also silhouette style, and it shows the Batmobile heading to his destination. The robbers get away from the cops. They go on top of the roof, and then they duke it out with Batman. This is all just the intro. It's like telling a little story, like Batman fighting crime, basically. But it was the music in the background. It's always the music in the background that really like elevated it. So I always enjoyed the Batman one. That one was really good to me. I also enjoyed Family Guy. That's an honorable mention for me. I always enjoyed that one. It's very catchy, and then when any animated series runs on for more than 15 plus years, you can't help but remember, even if you don't watch it that often, it's all over the place. You just is at this point it's like timeless to me. So that Simpsons as well, that's another honorable mention. That one really don't have much as far as lyrics go. That's literally just the Simpsons, but then everybody knows that do 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 do. Like, that also is timeless. So I always enjoyed the little visuals of showing like Bart writing on the chalkboard, Lisa playing the sax, like all of that was always dope to me. So like that intro stuck out as well. Another honorable mention, um, Boondocks. I don't know how many familiar with Boondocks. I'm pretty sure all you are. But Boondocks, that one was one of the earlier cartoons that I remember had like hip hop, like hip hop elements, and it kind of, the intro felt like it was like kung fu and hip hop, very Wu Tang energy. Like that's what I always got from it, and the song always like once I heard it, it's like, oh, Boondocks coming on, and I mean that obviously the cartoon is dope as well, but that was also a dope one for me too. It sucked that it didn't make the list, but it's just because I have so many that I like so many that I like. That's why that one didn't make it, but that one also was on my list too. So let's get to the top tens now. I think that's all the honorable mentions I got. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some that I miss off or I haven't said that people in the comments go ahead and let me know what I missed, or some that are your personal favorites that you think should have been honorable mention, especially if you don't think it's going to be in my top 10. Just post it and we can chop it up about it a little later. So here goes my top 10, my official top 10 cartoon intros of all time. My favorites. Number 10, I have Doug. When I was younger, for some reason, Doug just like I gravitated towards Doug, and like the show was really dope. It was very laid back. It wasn't until I got like in high school that I realized that it basically took place in Richmond. Go figure. I grew up here, and I was like always like, dang, that's probably why I enjoyed it a lot. But the beat was very simple. You could just kind of the hum tune and do do do, like it was nothing crazy. There's no lyrics, obviously. It's just noise, and then homeboy doing the beatbox in the back, like that intro was always dope to me. And they kept it was very simplistic. Like the animation was very simplistic. I was the art the sketch work was very simplistic, and like they just like didn't do a lot. It wasn't complex, but it was so smooth and chill and laid back that it always stuck with me. So that one right there is 10 for me. Number 9, I have the Spider-Man animated series. I don't know too many. I remember I'm talking about the one on Fox, like that one. Uh, do 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 do. I ain't about to sing every single one of these, but that one also didn't really have too many lyrics. I think it just they had like Spider Man in the background echoing every once in a while, and you have like images of the actual cartoon playing when it was going on. Like that one always was dope. Like I love the show a lot, so when you hear an intro so much, it just kind of sticks with you. And then at some point, you're like, yo, I really like this a lot. Like, I really like it a lot. And that was one of those that I just really enjoyed. I always enjoyed that one. That was 9 for me. Number 8, it's, this is probably higher on a lot of people's list, but for me, is 8, Powerpuff Girls. And I know the Sugar Spice, Everything Nice, and then the Chemical X. Uh, that was always dope to me. But every single time you hear that sound, when it kicks on, like you can't you can't unhear it. And when you hear the tune, you know it's Pop of Girls. Like that's one thing about a lot of those timeless and unforgettable intro themes. When you hear them, you know what they're to. You automatically, and Pop of Girls, that's like one of those that'll never, that one don't go nowhere. So that was always dope to me. It helped that the show was pretty cool too, like really dope. But I thought always that intro stuck with me heavy, and I'm pretty sure like it was higher on my list when I was younger, obviously. But as cartoons evolve, so do your taste. So 8 for me is Powerpuff Girls. Number 7, uh, what was 7? Oh yeah, Hey Arnold. Hey Arnold. That also I feel is a little low, but there's so many, man. There's like literally it's so many good ones. You can't really go wrong. And again, these are my personal favorites, so it isn't like, you know, I'm going off of somebody else's list. These are the ones that I personally enjoy. But I always enjoyed the Hey Arnold, you know, again, one of those that don't have too many lyrics. It's literally just Helga Pataki in the background screaming "Hey Arnold" the whole time, like annoying too, right? A movie football head, like, you know, the guys walking down the street, then the girls walking down the street, and you just hear that tune in the background, do 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 do, like that. That just that was tier work for a cartoon intro. Like you want to get the people hooked. I felt like again one of those that are more simplistic, but they just utilize a lot of sounds just to really put you in a space. I thought Hey Arnold was one of those that did that perfectly as well. And they told you exactly what they wanted to tell you for the cartoon. Hey Arnold for me, just with everything culminated, that one for me is 7. Number 6, I got. I'm surprised this one's, yeah, it's Tiny Toons. Tiny Toons. I don't know how many of y'all watched Tiny Toons back in the day, but for me, that Tiny Toons intro was goaded for a good minute, like because it was so much. It wasn't just the beat and the sounds, like the music. You know, they had lyrics full on, like I think they had like 2 verses worth. It was like 2 verses worth of the intro for Tiny Toons. And at that time, you know, a lot of the cartoons that I watched, like as you can hear, like with the Hey Arnold and the Dugs, Spider Man, like they didn't really have. There wasn't lyrics. You know, there wasn't too many cartoons that had like a culmination of a massive amount of lyrics in the beginning. Tiny Toons was full on. I mean, they had the animation playing, you know, characters going off, uh, Buster. It was a lot happening, but it was dope though. Always, always enjoyed it, and I think if I wanted to sing it now, I probably could. I won't, but I could probably sing the entire thing right now, like that. That puts you in a space. If you wanted to watch something that you thought was like really funny, really entertaining, Tiny Toons was entertaining for me growing up, and the intro was fire. That was fire. So that was 6 for me. Number five, we have the X-Men animated series. And you know, you talk about the 90s and then they just brought it back last year. That intro, it didn't even need to do much either. You know, I think what really hit was the 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 sounds. It was really like it felt gritty, but then you had like images of all the mutants, you know, X-Men popping out here and there, Wolverine and Beast, Gambit. Like every single time they showed a new one, they just or a different mutant, rather not new, but a different mutant. You just kind of like got more invested in the sound. The sound was perfect, you know. Do 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 do. See, I mean, I'm about to do all that. I ain't even getting into it, but you get what I'm saying. The it is something about just the sounds that put you in a space. And X-Men, the intro put you in a space because you knew, like they showed you off rip. They was getting ready. They about to come head to head at the end of the intro. So you knew they was about to go. It was about to go down. Like every single time the intro hit, you were excited to like see what was about to happen. X-Men, that was an incredible series, but the intro was fire. The intro was fire. Something about the ones that don't need to do a lot. For some reason, they put you in that space. At number 4, I had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I think more of like the 2012 rendition. The old school, the early 80s 90s version, that one was really good. I loved how they still utilize that in the future ones to some degree, but it with a spin on it. And the 2012 one had the hip hop spin to it because they had the rapping on it. And that one was that reminded me of like the Turtle Power. I mean the original one had that too, but it felt a little more like it felt more urban. It felt different. It came on different. There was some bounce to this one, and that's what I liked. That's what I liked the most about the 2012 one. Like the bounce, there was a bounce to that one, and it just that it was fire. I remember when that came out. I already had a son, but you ain't too old for cartoons, man. You're not too old for cartoons. So when that one came out, I was just lit. I'm like, yo, this is fire. And the intro set it off. I just need a good intro to set the cartoon off so you know where you about to go. Turtles already let you know, and you already knew what you was getting into with the Turtles one. They rarely miss with the Turtle cartoons, but that 2012 rendition, that intro was just thing of beauty. Number three for me, I say that I had to preface the statement because it is these are my personal favorites. Rugrats. I'm pretty sure that's one on a lot of people's list, but for me, it's three. It's not bad. It was really good. I always enjoyed the Rugrats one, and I think there's something about as soon as you hear it, right? As soon as you hear it, come on, it was just like, oh, you know what time it is, and it was very like relaxed. It was almost lullaby-ish, right? But that's that innocence to it. The innocence to the song always like put you in gear. These troublemaking toddlers about to get into some mess. But I love always loved the intro. The intro is just like, no matter what age you are, you always can enjoy it. You can always enjoy it. And there's an innocence to it that I always enjoy. So Rugrats for me is three. Don't take away from how great it is being three on my list. But again, it's my list. This is what I think. I think it's third. Number two, Pokemon. And that one, now that's the one that also takes me back, similar to Rugrats. But that one, I felt like it had everything, from the the music playing in the back to the visuals of the Pokemon flying around and Ash kind of just like journeying off, and then the lyrics. The lyrics. Oh, I'm about to. Sorry, I was about to get into my zone. I ain't even travel across the land. Nope, not doing it. You know it if you watched Pokemon. You know it, and that one right there, I thought was always dope. Always. I mean, when I was younger, I was super big into Pokemon. I still am, but when I was younger, when it first came out, like I thought that was the best thing ever. You couldn't. There's no cartoon better than Pokemon. I thought that was the epitome of perfection for cartoons. And so the intro, it did it. It didn't have like no, they weren't rapping. It was singing. They had it. It was like it was like a sing along basically. Once you learned the lyrics, it was a rap. It was a wrap for me. That one takes me back. That one, similar to Rugrats, that one takes me back, and that's why that one is so revered for me. It probably was one for a good amount of time until one came through and kicked in the door. And for me, the number one top cartoon intro is the Fairly Odd Parents. And I know that is crazy for a lot of people, but for me, that one has the essence of everything I've already spoken on. The beat, the visuals, the uh the timelessness of it, and then the lyrics. What like the lyrics? I like the beginning, Timmy's just an average kid, and then like they slowly pick up, and then at the end when he start chanting off the things that he want, like forget it. It's a wrap for at least a smooth 3 or 4 years. My childhood, Fairly Odd Parents was like my favorite cartoon. That that's like cracking a bottle. That intro. The intro is cracking a bottle. Like you already, even if you didn't like Fairly Odd Parents, like as a cartoon, the intro was fire. The intro was fire. So for me, Fairly Odd Parents is the top dog cartoon theme intros of all time. That's number one. But again, that was my list. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you didn't, make your own. Let me know what you think. Give me something that you think I missed, something that you think I forgot, some that are your personal favorites. And we could write about this again. Like I'm down. I enjoy uh, going off of a really really nice controversial top 10 list. So this is just another one. This is another episode in that. And I got another good one coming for y'all next week too. This week was for the cartoon lovers. I got a good one coming for y'all next week. I'll be back tomorrow and give off my Royal Rumble predictions before SmackDown, and then eventually Royal Rumble this weekend. So I look forward to uh, hearing what y'all think. Look forward to getting the feedback from the homies. And until then, man, this has been a wonderful one, and I can't wait to hear from you all. As always, be safe, be easy. Love you. And we out.